It should be frustrating. It should be concerning. It should be worrying that are we really gonna? That's what I would be thinking, and what I would be looking at if I was a Chelsea fan is please. And I've said it about again, just for energy purposes, energy being the same. I've said it about Man United. A lot of United fans are worried and concerned that we're only going to sign kids. So for me, I share that same sentiment. I don't just want to go out and sign young players. That's why I'm pushing for, and I'm hoping that our first major signing this summer is someone that's 25, 26. So it kind of debunks that logic, if that makes sense, because it's there. But to not, at the very least, to not have these conversations or to now ignore that these things were said. I just want to actually put one of them comments you set up on the screen, just in case anybody listening back now thinks that LB is just like making that up. Not that you would.
One video, there's loads of them, man.
Yeah, and people can go see it. And I'm going to put it up now. That is that top comment that you mentioned from Dan Waters, who says, yeah, as you say, Osimhen is not worth breaking up Chelsea's wage structure for. And when that comment there from JJJ said no one said it, that was like a gaslighting moment where you go, hang on, let's remember this. I remember people backing it 100%.
There's loads of them that said it. There's another guy here that says this, yeah. Where's he saying? Also, Osimhen's only scored 20 league goals once. Jackson scored 15 in his first year at Chelsea, despite being shit. Like, bro, what are we doing here? Why are somebody? I don't get it. It's not all Chelsea fans, yeah. I'm not going to go over them, yeah. Obviously, I'm not even having a go. I don't really care. I'm not a Chelsea fan, yeah. I just don't get why, when I watch Osimhen, he's clearly and obviously a better striker than Jackson, and I don't think that's a controversial take. And some of these Chelsea fans are trying to gaslight me and say that Jackson's a better striker than Osimhen. He's not a better striker than Osimhen.
Yeah.
So why are you trying to tell me that he is?
And DJ here says, Terry, you will not hammer Arsenal for not signing Osimhen. Well, I can guarantee you the content's there. Slammed Arsenal for not signing.
Actually, listen to this. I was cooking Arsenal in the summer as well, saying, I just said it at the start of this stream, Arsenal are falling into the same trap with Havertz that you've fallen into Jackson, where Havertz ended the season last year scoring a few goals. So then when people said in the summer we need to sign Arsenal need to sign a striker, yeah, obviously then people just come out and said, no, they don't need to sign a striker. No, they don't, because Havertz is scoring. It's like, nah, there's a difference between going for a little bit of a scoring patch to being a legit striker who scores consistently. And Havertz is not that, just like Jackson. Arsenal should have signed Osimhen.
Yeah, I agree. And just on me, I definitely called them out on Arsenal out on our January streams when they didn't sign anybody. I called them out in the summer for not buying enough. I've reiterated that on many, many occasions, and I blamed the manager more so in the summer for not spending that money on attackers. I criticized the board for not giving the right kind of money in January to go and sign the right players. So when you say I wouldn't hammer Arsenal, I absolutely would. The reason why, though, DJ, Chelsea, contemporary conversations are going to get more criticism than Arsenal, is that Arsenal have been in the title race for the past 3 years, and most of us believe they'll be in it again next year, if we're being honest. With Chelsea, you've spent over £1 billion on a squad. You're finishing your third year of your complete restructure and rebuild. This isn't year one or year two, it's your third year. Umpteen managers. You got yourselves into a title race earlier on this season, or the fledgling stages, and instead of buying the experience that you, DJ, know you need, and we can all see you need, they're being criticized for it. So the fact is, from an outsider's point of view, right now, in chronological order, Liverpool maybe do deserve some criticism for the Trent situation we'll get into. But by and large, over the course of the last 12 months to a year, City will get the least amount of criticism of all of the traditional top six because of their success. Then you would probably look at Liverpool, then it would go to Arsenal, then it will be Chelsea and Man United, and then Spurs come down the bottom, but I still don't think they get as much criticism because there isn't as much expected from them as an example. So you can either have them last because there's not as much expectation, or you might have them number one because they don't get a lot of criticism because there isn't a lot of expectation. But when it comes to the shit you're given, what rivals say, the criticism you get in the media, it should be a reflection of how over the last 2 to 3 to 4 years you have performed in title races, trophies that you have won, and the direction that people feel your club is going in. So the idea that we have to treat all clubs at every moment equally is crazy. I've criticized Pep this season for mistakes he's made, but am I going to talk about him how I speak about a manager like Big Ange? No, because of what Pep has achieved and what he has done. And that logic should remain throughout. You'll never hear the equal level of criticism for a team that's challenging for a league title and has fallen off to a team that's had 3 years of absolute obscurity. By the way, a club that hasn't challenged for a league title in 8 years. Your criticism must be high. The same as Man United must be even higher. We haven't challenged for 12 years, as an example. The same as Arsenal. They haven't won it for 20 years, but they're back in those title races. But the demand for one of the big trophies is huge because it's been 20 years. You're a Chelsea fan, and when you pick to support a big club, or when you support a smaller team that suddenly excels into that kind of more elite level, the scrutiny is different. Put your seatbelt on, lad. You're in for a bumpy ride. Or go and support a smaller team that nobody cares about. And at least then you'll be left alone. 110%. Go and do that. I love you, DJ. You super chat a lot, but you are chatting some absolute guff when you say that. Chelsea is buying to sell. Which of their players are going to rake in cash without killing the squad? More than $1 billion was spent on this model.
Maybe we should go and put in a bid of 70 million for Palmer then. They'd accept that because only bought him for 40 and make some profit, make some nice profit. Like, seriously, if that is their model, let's go and get Palmer then. We need a number 10. Let's go get Palmer. Put in a bid of 70
million. Do you agree that this summer for Chelsea will indicate what type of club they are?
Yes.
If they don't go out
we already know what type of club they are.
No, I think we know, and I think I know what type of club they are, yeah. But if they go out this summer, right, and buy the players that they should buy, which at the moment, if they're being linked with players like Garnacho, is not looking good. But let's just say for argument's sake they got, then maybe you could go, okay, maybe made him a few mistakes, maybe they had a plan, didn't quite work out, but they're adapting. If they go out this summer and don't buy a proper striker, don't buy a proper goalkeeper, don't strengthen in key areas, then I think you've got to look at Chelsea and go,
yes,
they owners ain't serious.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think, yes, they've bought some really good players. They've got some very good players. That's why they're fourth in the league. It's why they're on the edge of a title race. They now need experience. And I like Garnacho. I hope he stays at Manchester United. I do. But he needs development. He isn't ready to lead a line. If Chelsea had a bagsman up front, Madueke was killing it, Sancho was on fire, and they went, we just want to add a player like Garnacho in to complement this and to develop, it would make complete and utter sense. Terry, why have you spent this international break hammering Chelsea? Dan and LB didn't have us top 4. We're on course for that and can finish there. So why hammer Chelsea daily?
The reason I didn't put Chelsea in the top 4 because I thought they weren't a serious club, and they're proving that, in my opinion, they're not a serious club. They might get top 4, and hats off to them if they get top 4, but Chelsea, let's be real, they shouldn't be getting top 4. Chelsea in the last 2 decades have won more than anyone. They should be going for a title after spending 1.5 billion. But if you want to start being like Arsenal fans are and start celebrating 4th, then go for it. If that's what you think is a good season, go for it, DJ. But I have higher standards for Chelsea than that, mate. Crikey.
And the only thing you've been criticised for, listen, is your form. Your form for the last 2.5 months on the form table has you sitting in, and we use that 2.5 month period because that's when you won your 8th of your 8 wins on the bounce to be a couple of points off top, when title conversations were being spoken about, when you were being praised, when LB and Dan Potts on this show were saying, could have got this wrong, they look really good at the moment, but they still kept their feet on the ground. I'm paraphrasing what you boys said there. From that point till now, your form has been 14th. You're 14th in the league on form in that point. If that form and by the way, you've played the majority of your easier games. You've got Ipswich coming, and you've got Spurs, who you predominantly always beat. But they're the only teams below you in that form table in that point. The 4 wins in that period all came to teams below you in that form table. Everyone above you drew with or lost to. And if you look at the trajectory in the form of other teams, you're not on course to finish 4th. You are currently on course to come anywhere between 6th and 8th. If you look at form as well as your current league position, if you look at the form of individual players, now you're getting players back, and you might do it. And if you come top 4, you'll get praised for it. However, your form must be criticised, the same as we were all praising it when you went into the title race. Equally, paying Man United £5 million to not buy a player is going to get criticism. Looking at another young player to add to your squad in the summer instead of experience is going to generate criticism. And do you know why? Because a big percentage of your fan base is protesting because of these things. So don't act like we're hating on Chelsea when your own fans are protesting this, DJ. I think what we're saying holds water. I think Chelsea just signed what's popular at the time. Do you think there's an element of truth to what Josh says here, LB? Do you think sometimes it's just let's sign player X because he's popular at the moment?
No, I probably think it's the opposite. Look at a lot of the players that they signed. They don't really sign that many popular players. They sort of go out there and sign like Neto. Like he wasn't that popular. Obviously, he was doing all right at Wolves, but wasn't tearing up trees. Garnacho. I mean, most United fans that I speak to don't really rate him. So again, he's not particularly popular. Mudryk, like I don't know, was he popular at the time? I don't really see.
Well, when I say popular, I suppose you could look at it from this lens. Like there was a lot of hype around Mudryk because Arsenal are linked to him as an example. You've got Caicedo, where it was other clubs looking at him. Arsenal, Liverpool, bang, they kind of swoop in. Liverpool were doing a deal for Enzo Fernandez. They swooped. A lot of people sort of think Club A starts looking at Cucurella. City were looking at him, and then bang, they sweep in. There's an element of that. I don't know whether they just. I don't believe. I'll back Chelsea here. I don't think they sit there and go, what are we going to do today? Not sure what's going on. You seen Sky Sports? Chelsea have just bid for Cucurella. Oh,
I don't see that either.
Let's put a bid in as well. I don't think it's run like that. I think that's a bit of a fan stretch.
Yeah, I agree.
John here says, Clown Lake out, American owners out of our league. That's John, who's a Chelsea fan, who's clearly backing what the boys are saying on the show today. Why are all Chelsea fans generalized? We wanted a striker, but they're not. But DJ, I suppose but for me, I feel what you're doing. I feel like what you're doing is more generalizing of Chelsea fans, because we're talking between the three of us. We've given multiple opinions. Some of it we back, like I just did there with Chelsea. Some of it's condemn. But there are loads of Chelsea fans that agree with what LB and Dan are saying. So if we don't allow people to come on this platform and speak their mind, that's almost pandering to a particular group of Chelsea fans, and it would push a narrative that everybody in general at Chelsea has the same opinion. So we are sharing the wider view of what's being said, and you should be able to accept that, DJ. But no one is generalizing all Chelsea fans, and no one here said all Chelsea fans like the wage structure. We literally spoke about the Chelsea fans that are protesting against this, which is proof we are not generalizing. Panel, can you please name a striker you would sign for your individual clubs? Also, no top striker from the top 5 league, and no Osterman, Isak, or Gyökeres. Jesus
Bro,
Christ,
who's this guy from Cam, bro? No striker from the top 5 league. I'm not a Euro expert guy on Twitter who watches all the football, man. I don't know.
I'll go João Pedro, because I can't think of anyone off the top of my head other than him.
So, he's in the top 5 leagues, though. He's in the Prem.
Top 5 leagues. That's what
no
I'm saying.
From the top 5 leagues.
To name someone from
the
top
French 5 leagues,
second division or something, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say Gyökeres, but do you know what? He's not a striker, right? I'm going to be lazy with this because I watched him play for Portugal the other night. I'm going to pronounce the name wrong. Is it Trincao, the forward who came on and scored 2 goals? I'm just going to name him because he looked good in a game I watched. That's it. That's who I'm naming, because he's not in the top 5 league. I'm just going to name him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Word. I don't have a clue, mate.
I could get Benzema from fucking Saudi Arabia, bro. I can't even lie. There you go.
That is a really good question to
I get Ivan Toney. Yeah, fair play.
Ivan Toney. Yeah. That's what you got to do. Yeah, it's one of those questions where you think, I'm not too sure, because again, I'm not too sure either. I am not too sure.
People are saying Ekitike, but that's German.
No, he's in Germany. He's in Germany.
Top 5 league, man.
Jonathan David on a free. France in the top 5 leagues.
France are top 5.
And I don't know. I thought I heard something. People were saying apparently Portugal, Portuguese league apparently has overtaken the French league. Is that true?
Yeah, it may have done. Listen, I don't believe in top. I don't like the phrase top 5. I believe there's top 4 leagues and there's everyone else. I don't think France. They've got technically brilliant players, and it's actually an entertaining league. I've watched a lot of it this year. But I'm just, when I talk top the size of leagues, I'm talking purely on the numbers of people that watch it. And I like the French league, but I'm also, look, my favorite singer is a guy called Lamar, but that doesn't mean I think he's better than Drake. And I don't mean Kendrick Lamar. I mean literally Fame Academy, if there's any justice Lamar, right? I love the geezer, but because I like it, it doesn't make it one of the best. Does that make sense? I think there's a difference there, but the French league. No, it's 5 or 6 always on the list, but I just believe there's a top 4. And the fact that 4th and 5th keep changing, 5th and 6th keep changing, that's why I just think there's a top 4. Does that make sense? But maybe that's just me. The Porto striker. Yeah, that helps, doesn't it? The Porto striker. I love it. Do you know what, though? That's actually the response of someone who isn't trying to sound like an in the know, who's just like, I watched him play, he looked good. I kind of like that.
Yeah,
the only person... Strasbourg Steve, this man If he tells you a player's good from some obscure part of the world, believe him because he watches it. He showed me his setup. I've got 6 screens in my room here. And in fairness, I don't turn 2 of them on. This man, it's honestly, I love the way he watches football. It's just crazy. He's the only person in the social media world that I believe actually watches all the games they say they watch. We have Hope out once on a watch along once because he was telling us that he watches all these leagues. And I normally call people out on that. And I think, hang on. If you're watching all top 6 teams playing the Prem over a weekend, you watch Barca and Real Madrid. Genuinely, when is there the time to watch all the other games? Because the overlap of those games is massive.
Bro, I'll be real. I can't watch more than 1 game at a time, me.
Oh, I hate doing it. I
don't know if it's some issue in the brain, innit? But I can't. I've tried it so many times. Dude, I watch along and say, "Oh, I'll put 2 games on at once, man." I can't concentrate, man. I can't concentrate. I just need to watch 1 game, innit?
I find myself going like really silent when I have to do it. And I did a watch along for That's Football, where there was 3 Champions League games on that we were covering. And honestly, I finished. And then I did my match reaction. I've never been so exhausted in my life trying to focus on 3 games. No, it's crazy, mate. It's very, very hard indeed.